Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing my movie review for Project Almanac. And yeah, so this movie stars Johnny Weston, Sophia Black D'Elia, Sam Lerner, Alan Evangelista, and Virginia Gardner. So yeah, before I begin though, before I begin, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please do not comment down below or be messaging me. That never gave you a fair warning because as usual, I did. So yeah, Project Almanac, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, basically you have this group of teens, five teenagers, on this group of five teenagers, and one of them is this kid trying to get into MIT, and just so happens to be that his father, used to work for the government and was trying to make a time traveling machine, which was called Project Almanac. These group of teenagers find the blueprint for the actual project for the time traveling machine, build it, and now they're going back in time. And yeah, it's a found footage film, by the way. So yeah. So the acting and the writing was actually pretty decent. It's actually pretty good at times. It's actually pretty good, and it surprised me. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, I thought there was gonna be a few fun moments, but nothing out of the ordinary. Now I was kind of right. There were a few good moments, nothing really out of the ordinary, but it was actually better than I thought. It's actually pretty enjoyable. All in all, the acting and the writing is actually pretty decent for the most part. I do have to admit. Now the major problem with the film is that there really is no reason for it to be a found footage film. In our reality, I mean, yes, there are maybe a couple scenes every here and there that should be found footage, but for the most part, this movie really has no reason to be found footage. I mean, really, I think it's because found footage films they're easier to film, so yeah, and they're cheaper in some aspects. So I guess they just wanted to make their money back faster. But in all reality, this movie did not really have to be found footage in any way. It did kind of give me a feel. It kind of felt similar to Chronicle and Project X in just the way it was. It was almost like Chronicle and Project X combined because they're both found footage films. And Project X is about Project X is about this three teenagers trying to have a party, and Chronicles is the group of these three teenagers who have superpowers. For me, it was kind of a mix between both because there's this one. I don't want to say long scene because it's several cut scenes, to some degree because found footage. But there's this sequence where they're all in this concert. That took 3 months, about 3 months prior to when the movie starts, more or less. And there's kind of this concert, and it kind of gave me why it kind of gave me that Project X feeling. So yeah, and I mean that those scenes are actually pretty good. I mean there are some things to be enjoyable, but really the major problem is the fact that it really had no reason to be a found footage film. I mean, it could have been a regular film, it could have been a regular film, regularly shot without the actual found footage aspect of it. I mean, that's really my major problem. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, another thing I do have to praise it for, which is something that kind of pisses me off about time travel movies as a whole, and I kind of like the fact they kind of touched upon this at the end, and that's the fact that every time someone goes back in time or into the future, or whatever, and they never really change anything. I mean, if they do change anything, it's usually minor stuff, but it's nothing like anything huge or big. I mean, Interstellar really didn't change much because it's still gonna go revolve through the same aspects. Triangle, which is another time travel movie. Again, that just went revolved again throughout the same story. Um, I mean, even in Back to the Future, there were a few changes every here and there when Marty McFly did come back to present day, but overall everything just kind of stayed the same. Here, I kind of did like how they kind of took a risk and when the characters are back in present day, they everything is changed, and I really do like that. And kind of the ripple effect and all that, and even at the end too, where they find like 2 or 3 cameras that showed the footage from their time traveling experiences, and I thought that was pretty cool, and I really did enjoy that. So I mean, there are some things I do like. I did like the risk about with them, actually showing the actual causes of time travel, because it does for me. Many time travel films, for some reason, don't seem to explore the actual risk, and I do like how they actually explore the risk. Um, I mean, the writing was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, could have been improved, but it was pretty good, and the acting was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, also before I stop, one thing that kind of pissed me off is that overall throughout the whole film, they're going really about a couple months back just to go to this concert. They're not really. I mean, after a while, I mean, yes, you go, maybe ace that test you failed, or go talk to that pretty girl. I mean, I know I sure as hell would. But you'd probably go talk to a pretty girl or whatever, you probably do something you kind of failed at, maybe win the lottery or whatever, which they did win the lottery in the movie. But after a while, I probably go way back in time. Now, yes, they kind of did have a set time limit at the beginning, so they couldn't really go back that far back in time. But at the end of the film, they could have really just gone anywhere in time, and they really didn't go past like 10 years, and that was only for the plot, the actual plot. I mean, yeah, it made sense for the plot, but whatever. I mean, honestly, I probably after a while I get sick of this and go back in time. I go to Woodstock. That's where I'd go, Woodstock, and followed probably by the first Star Wars or whatever, Episode 4 or whatever, premiere. Probably go meet Abraham Lincoln. Probably World War II. I'd probably go there, and for some odd reason, just because the topic interests me, I'll probably go to 9/11. Just because of 9/11 really interests me. So yeah, but that's where I go back in time. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, man. After a while, I kind of just wish they would have gone way back in time. And again, they kind of touch upon this because they said, the Star Wars premiere. No, I think it was Star Wars. It was some science fiction movie. It was either Star Wars or Back to the Future. It was Star Wars premiere, Back to the Future premiere. They say Woodstock, Abraham Lincoln. When I think one of them said like World War I or something like that, or whatever. I kind of wish they kind of would have gone back. Now I guess budgeting reasons it makes sense, but whatever. Um, so yeah, man, overall it was actually a pretty enjoyable movie. I thought it was better than I expected. Um, Pretty good acting, pretty good writing for the most part, and I did like the fact that they kind of took a risk on actually showing the effects of time travel as a whole. But there were after a while, really first off, it didn't really there was no purpose for it to be time travel to be found footage. Sorry, there was really no purpose for it to be found footage, and really after a while, the time traveling aspect kind of got tiring because they kind of just went back to the same place or time or whatever. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give it a 7 out of 10. So actually a pretty good movie. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the video. On the movie. Sorry. And if you could go back in time, where would you go back to? Like what event? Or what would you change in history? Which is funny. One of them said it's time travel 101. Kill Hitler, which is actually pretty true. I mean, that logically that should be like time travel 101. One of the things you should do is kill Hitler if you have a chance. So yeah. Um. Yeah, but aside from that, comment down below on your thoughts on the movie and where would you go back in time, whether it be in your life or events or what would you change in back in time, comment all that down below, let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. That's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.